All right, so getting ready to leave on this road trip to Summerslam 2024. So this year, so far, I've already been to two pay-per-views. I've been to WrestleMania in Philly, and I've been to Money in the Bank in Toronto. I went to Philly by plane from Montreal, where I live. Um, and that was an awesome experience. I kind of regretted not making a video about it because really, if you just take a bunch of pictures and stuff like that, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but like, how often do you really go back and look on it? I think making this video will be much cooler and people will be able to see the experience. So yeah, I went by plane to WrestleMania and then I went by bus to Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, I'm happy I went. It was awesome. Awesome show, awesome trip. But I'd say I only really went because it was convenient that it was in Toronto. Toronto's pretty close to Montreal, of course. I was able to just go by bus. So, and normally I like to go to Toronto anyways, once or twice a year if I can. Last year I went to Toronto in the summer for AEW Collision show on a Saturday. So I didn't have to take any time off of work. So yeah, so that just worked out good. Um, anyway, so that's the history so far of this year. When I saw SummerSlam was in Cleveland, right away I started thinking about it. Cleveland to Montreal is pretty far by car. This is getting into like an actual road trip here, not just a little day ride. Montreal to Cleveland, pretty much you got to go to Toronto and then down to Cleveland. Basically, there's two ways you can go, either passing by Detroit or passing by Buffalo. So when I went to WrestleMania, I had friends who drove and I met them there. And Philadelphia by car is about 7 hours from Montreal, but say like 8 hours. So it's maybe, it's not that bad. You go by plane, you got to show up 3 hours in advance to the airport because it's an international flight from Montreal. And then it's about, I guess by the time you get out of the airport, it's another like 3 hours with the flight. The flight's about an hour or something, maybe about 2 hours. So you get out. So you really only gain like an hour. But it is like more comfortable in a way. I don't know. That's why, but when I was chilling with my friends and they were leaving, when we like separated at WrestleMania for the last time, and I was really thinking like, fuck, it would have been cool to like go with them. It's only like an hour, but I already had my plane tickets, obviously. So then I was like, if I go to SummerSlam, it's relatively in like the Northeast still, Cleveland. So I was like, that's doable. It's on a Saturday, so I won't really have to take, I only have to take like one day off. I have to take Friday off. So that's cool. And then I was thinking about how I kind of regretted not going by car. So I was like, okay, Cleveland by car. I'll get to see like a bunch of stuff I haven't seen. I've never been to Ohio, Michigan, anything like any of that area. I've been to a lot of places in the States, but never there. Never even Buffalo. I've been to New York State, but never the west side. So started planning this out, and here we are. Bought my ticket to SummerSlam. Then I was like, okay, I'll figure out how to go. So the itinerary is Friday, leave Montreal, go to Toronto. Because yeah, there's no bus from Montreal to Cleveland. Like, you have to pass by Toronto. So I got to go to Toronto, then Detroit, which I'm supposed to get to Detroit Saturday, 6 a.m. Then Detroit to Cleveland. I'm supposed to get to Cleveland around 11 a.m. Then I'm going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, no, I'm going to drop off my bags in a locker, because there's no hotels in downtown Cleveland that don't cost like literally $1,000 a night. I don't know if it's just because it's SummerSlam. So I had to take a hotel a bit outside of the downtown area. So I'm trying to calculate it. I might as well just take a locker downtown, which I found out they have at the bus station. So take a locker, drop my stuff off there, because the bus station is downtown. So then I'll go right to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I have an appointment at noon. Go check that out for a couple hours. Then what's cool is that it's right beside the stadium. Everything's like right there. So then I'll probably go try a Polish boy if I can find one, which is like some crazy sausage meal. And then go to the stadium. Yeah. Then come back. Coming back, I'm going to pass by Buffalo and then Toronto, Montreal, back. So this is going to be like an epic road trip. I have already been on some pretty epic road trips in the past, but a lot of my traveling lately, besides going to like closer-ish places like Toronto, has been by plane. So I kind of miss hitting the road. I'm kind of cool that I'm going to pass through Buffalo and Detroit too at the same time. We're going to do basically the whole tour of Lake Erie, which is like kind of cool, I guess, too. I like seeing different water masses. I haven't ever seen Lake Erie. I've seen Lake Ontario and the Great Lakes, and it's quite impressive. So this is probably going to be quite impressive too. So time to get ready for the trip. I got to leave Friday at noon to arrive Saturday at noon. 24 hours on the road. Let's go. All right, so it's roughly 11 a.m. on Friday. So I'm leaving in about an hour from my place. I should be in Cleveland in about 24 hours from right now. Gonna be a hell of a trip. So I'm starting with Toronto. So I'll update y'all from after the first leg of the trip, unless something really fucked up happens. We'll see. All right, I've arrived at Toronto. I'm at Union Station, which is right beside the TD. And as you can see, the Money in the Bank sign is still up from last month. I was here actually less than a month ago. So I got a couple hours to kill before grabbing the bus from Toronto to go to Detroit and then Cleveland. So I'll give you updates. All right. All right, phone is charged and I'm in Cleveland. We made it. Alrighty, so a lot has happened since I left Toronto. Left Toronto like half an hour late because the bus was late. Then for some reason the bus driver decides to take like an extra half-hour break at some point. So when we get to Detroit, where my connecting bus was gonna be to go to Cleveland, we missed the bus. I missed the bus. because the other bus was late leaving from Toronto. So then the bus was late. So I got kind of lucky in my bad luck, because at customs, they ask you what you're doing, whatever. So I said I was going to Summerslam. Luckily, 2 people behind me on my bus in the line for customs also were going to SummerSlam, and so we were all in the same boat. So we took a fucking Uber from Detroit to Cleveland. Fucking ridiculous, fucking expensive, like fucking expensive. I won't even say how much. I got to Cleveland though, like half an hour earlier than I would have. So then on the ride here, made friends with them. They were really cool. Right now they're off going to meet Dominic Mysterio, because he's doing a signing. Hopefully I'll videotape them later. So yeah, a guy and a girl. They're from one's from Hamilton, one's from Toronto, but originally from England. And so we took an Uber here, then got to the bus station. A guy offered me weed coming out, but I didn't have any cash, so I couldn't buy it right away. More on that later. So then we go out to eat, but they want to start drinking already. Mind you, none of us have really slept very well. I mean, I don't even drink, but yeah, these people were on one. The guy especially had a beer. We went to a pub, so I had a Polish boy for breakfast, which is a kielbasa sausage with fries, coleslaw, and barbecue sauce on it, with mac and cheese for breakfast. It was really filling so far. Is that all I ate today so far? Yes. Then we split up because they wanted to go to their hotel, take a shower. I was like, fuck going to my hotel. I wanted to take a locker originally to put my bags, but contrary to what the Cleveland Browns website says, and contrary to what the Cleveland bus terminal says, neither of them have lockers for rent. So then I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was awesome. Really, that was a bucket list thing I've always wanted to do. It was really fun, really cool, like stuff from all the legends. There was a cool hip hop exhibit. There was a special exhibit on the year 1984. Its relevance in music. That was really cool. There was a Bon Jovi exhibit. There was a piece of The Wall from The Wall, among other things. So that was really a worthwhile thing to do. I'm happy I did that. Okay, so then I left there, and then I walked over to the stadium, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is directly beside Cleveland Brown Stadium, which is right on Lake Erie. It's beautiful, actually. It's very beautiful. Lake Erie is huge. You can't even see to the other side. If you go there and bring someone there and they don't know where they are and you tell them they're at the ocean, they probably believe you. So I go to the stadium, and yeah, I'm expecting to find a place I can put my bag in a locker, and I've seen that at other stadiums. So this is not like something that I invented in my mind. I've done this before in Orlando at a basketball game. I've seen it in Las Vegas. So I thought the Browns had it. Even says it has it on their website. So they actually do have a tent where you can like leave your bag. So I found that. Problem is, okay, stadium, everything's cash, cashless. It literally says it on the ticket. So I didn't even bother taking out cash this trip, because I'm just planning on going, for one day here. I'm literally in town for like less than 24 hours. So then I had to go take out cash. Obviously, there's no bank machines anywhere close to the stadium. So I had to walk all the way to a bank. But then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to buy weed at the same time while I'm taking out money. Meet this sus looking girl on the street, ask her where I could buy weed, because I was under the impression that weed was legal here. And it is, but it was only made legal in December of 2023, so they haven't opened up dispensaries yet. That only happens next month. So I had to go buy weed the old-fashioned way. That took a fucking while, because the guy made me wait forever. I thought he was gonna rob me, which has happened to me before in Orlando. where the guy just takes my money and leaves like I'm a fucking 13-year-old. Yeah, so that took a while. I was getting pretty frustrated, but I got my weed. Then I start realizing my phone is about to die really bad. So then I went to go charge it, put on some deodorant, and changed my shirt, and then finally smoked a J. So now that's where we're at now. It's a beautiful freaking day. Like, this is Summerslam weather here in Cleveland. It's a pretty nice city. I like the architecture. There's some rundown parts. There's some crackheads and shit. There's some homeless people and shit. But overall, not that bad. I like it. Can't wait to go to Summerslam tonight. So far, there's been some ups and downs, some roadblocks. But as of right now, I just charged my phone. I've got everything I need. I'm gonna go drop my bag off at the tent and go check out the festivities outside of SummerSlam, which I already have checked out. They're giving away Prime, C4, some other bullshit. Oh, that's my bell. Time to go, guys.
The state of OH! More ownership over our champion, Logan Paul. Big E.
Oh, wow. What a day. I'm back at my hotel. Well, actually, I'm at my hotel for the first time. I didn't bother checking in during the day. Yeah, it was a heck of a show. The stadium was awesome. I was sitting in the dog pound For those who know what that is, it's like a special section of, it's bleachers at Cleveland Brown Stadium. It's like a very famous thing. People who watch football know what that is. I ran into one of my buddies, semi-randomly, Poly Platinum. He saw that I was at Summerslam, so he messaged me and was like, "What's up?" So then we didn't even actually plan to meet up. We just ended up crossing paths twice, actually, so that was really cool. Yeah, what a day. Let's see, the show itself was awesome. I'm not sure how my expectations were for this show. I knew I was gonna have fun. I knew I always wanted to see a SummerSlam live, and this was the time to do it. It was on a Saturday. So yeah, that really works with my schedule. But yeah, I wasn't super excited for the card the way I was for WrestleMania, let's say. I guess that's normal. I mean, The Rock wasn't there. The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time, so that's why it was really special for me to go to WrestleMania 40, because I had never seen The Rock wrestle live. So that was really, really cool. I didn't think I would ever get that opportunity, actually. So I was like, it was awesome. So the show, the first match was quite an awesome match. Dom turning on Rhea Ripley and Rhea retaining her title. That was crazy. The fans went crazy. I was a little sad that Sami Zayn lost the belt, but that was to be expected. But of course, I always go for Sami Zayn, being from Montreal, and he's awesome. What else? Gunther winning the belt, that was cool. Bayley's match, I feel bad to say this, but it's true. Like, at WrestleMania Night 2, during Bayley's match, not everyone, but like, that was like intermission. Like, a lot of people like got up because they put it towards the end of the card. People get caught up in the action at the beginning, and like, they're not gonna go like take a piss or whatever, like, if they don't absolutely have to in the first couple matches, because you're like at the show, you're like, yeah, you're into it. But then like eventually you're like, oh, I gotta take a piss, maybe go get another hot dog or whatever. Yeah, so same thing happened tonight. Bayley, Nia Jax. The crowd was pretty dead for that. I was into it. I like Bayley, but she lost. Yeah, and the main event, the crowd went crazy. The crowd was standing the whole time. Solo Sikoa versus Cody. Heck of a match. Bloodline rules. Bloodline rules is like mad interference. I think that's what it is at this point. Overall, loved the show. Getting the heck out of there was a bitch, of course, like any other big stadium show like that. There was apparently other events going on in the area too, like in the other, like the baseball stadium and the hockey stadium, or the basketball stadium, I mean, so, yeah. So, now I'm back at my hotel, just chilling. I'm gonna go to bed soon and wake up tomorrow, get back on the road. All right, Sunday morning. Pretty hard this morning to get up. Took a lot out of me yesterday, the sun and everything. Right now, watching a bit of Olympics. I just had some Bob Evans breakfast, filled up. My bags are packed, and I'm ready to go. I'm leaving on a bus. All right, I am back in Canada. The bus ride from Cleveland to Buffalo went well. Buffalo is right at the border, so then we just went through the border, and it was about 2 hours more to get to Toronto. Now I got a 3-hour delay, but I was able to get some weed, so I'm just chilling, smoking, waiting for the bus. I'll be home at 6 a.m. tomorrow. My bus is at 11:30. Right now it's almost 9, so got some time to kill, but it feels good to be off the bus. Doing that straight would have been pretty fucking bad. So this has been a hell of a trip. The borders are always stressful, sort of, but you know, used to it now. And yeah, everything went good. Hope you're enjoying this video so far. So I'm still in Toronto. I just remembered that I hadn't mentioned that much about when we stopped in Buffalo on the bus. So I had an hour wait, and I was with my new buddies I met from Toronto. So we were like, yeah, let's go try to get some good Buffalo food quick. We wanted to try to find Buffalo chicken wings. We walked around for 45 minutes, and every single retail store and restaurant that we saw, including like chains like Subway, Tim Hortons, every single thing was closed. The city was literally a ghost town. We were on something that looked like a main street, and we didn't see anyone. My buddy was like, this really feels like the beginning of a zombie movie, and he was fucking right. Yeah, like, fuck, Buffalo, what the fuck? At the end, we finally found a grocery store. I seen the Bills Stadium from far, which is cool to me. I don't know, though. It looks... Maybe it was just a part of town I was in, but... Yeah. I think I've seen all there is to see in Buffalo, and it feels pretty bad. Damn. Buffalo. What the hell?